In this next tutorial, we're going to create a bump map for the candy bar so that we've got an impression of the word candy on each of these sections. And in order to do that, we're going to go into Photoshop. I've opened up the candy bar texture inside of Photoshop, and now I'm going to create a text layer that is white. I'll hit T on the keyboard, and I'll go up to the top of the option window, and I will choose white for my character. And I'm going to hit the cap lock and I'll type in candy. I'm just going to scale this up, and I'm going to rotate it a bit of a diagonal, and I want the word candy to appear on each of these sections. And once I have the character where I want it, I'm going to rasterize it, and this is going to allow me to duplicate this quickly on one single layer. I'll hit M on the keyboard to get my marquee, and I'll zoom in. I'll make my selection, hit V on the keyboard, and if I were to hold down the Option key, my move tool, it becomes two arrows, one black, one white. And that just means if I continue to hold the Option, I can drag a copy wherever I want it to go. If I wanted to be precise about it, I could hold a Shift key, and that would constrain it vertically, horizontally, or at 45-degree angles. I'll let go, and then I'll Option drag another one, and so on all the way across. I'm going to take a moment to fill all these sections, and when I return, we'll create the bump channel. Now I've got the characters filled in where I want them to be, I'm going to go down to the bottom of the layer window, and I'm going to go to the little black and white cookie there, and I'm going to choose black and white. And you'll see now that you've got a dark charcoal gray background and white. And what this means is that white pushes forward, or any value of white or light gray would push forward, darker values recede. Now that I've got the black and white applied to it in my layer window, I'll turn off the UV map. And I'm going to save this as a JPEG, just as I did with the alpha transparency map. I'll name it appropriately, Candy Bar Bump, and I'll make sure that I choose JPEG and save. And the last thing I need to do now is I need to delete the black and white so that my candy bar remains brown. And I don't want the white text because the bump map is going to emboss the candy bar through the bump channel. So I will delete the text layer as well. I'll hit Command S to save. And now we're ready to return to Maya. Back in Maya, I'm selecting the candy bar, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose Material Attributes. And just as the transparency node for the box, I'm going to go down to Geometry. And in Geometry, I'm going to go to the bump channel, and I'll follow the checkerboard out. I'll get my file, and then where it says bump value, there will be a yellow box, a little black rectangle with a black triangle in it. I will click on it, and I will go out and I will find my candy bar bump. Once I open it, I'll immediately see that it has embossed my candy bar. Now in the attribute window on the right, if you should choose to play with the quality of that bump, up where it says File, there is a box, a white box with a white triangle in it. There are actually two. We want the one below. I'll click on it, and it returns me back to where the bump value was. Now, the bump depth can be dragged left or right, so the further the right, the more the embossing will be prominent, and then the further to the left as I approach 0, the less influence it will have. If I should go into the minus side with a minus number, then the white recedes and the dark value pushes forward. So it's just like an opposite effect. And that's the simple bump technique in Maya.